Are you prone to afib? I'm prone to afib. Are you old? I'm old. I'm also a cyclist who races bicycles, but you can do non-cycling stuff to help out your heart and your afib situation. Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek, and this is what you can do. Let's talk about diet first. I don't do anything special. I don't do keto, I don't do low carb, I don't do high carb. Basically, I try to eat as many plants as I can. I'm predominantly plant-based, but not totally plant-based. I try to eat raw. If I can't eat raw, then I look for something that's as little processed as possible. And I watch how much that I eat. For me, it's calories in, calories out. Now, I know there are foods that cause you to store energy, store fat. For me, however, I focus on how much I'm eating and how much I'm burning. I also look for foods that are nutritionally dense and that have certain properties. So let's take a look at what I'm doing here. What I'm going to be showing you today are things that I'm eating throughout the day. And this is what I usually eat. Now, there's some days that I'm eating a lot more of this, but it rarely deviates from this. Frozen berries and blueberries and frozen kale. The blueberries are especially important because of the high anti-inflammatory effects that they have. And when you're an AFib boy like me, you want to stay away from inflammation. Along with almond milk, you'll see on the table some cinnamon and some turmeric. Turmeric also has anti-inflammatory properties, and the cinnamon has properties that help with the sugar assimilation. Now, I also use nutritional yeast in this. So I blend that all together. I stick a little steel cut oats in there because we accidentally purchased that at one time, so I'm just kind of using it up little by little. And certainly having the extra fiber isn't going to hurt either. The next meal that I'm having this day, and usually most days, is going to be my vegetable rice concoction. In this case, the vegetables are going to be leafy type of vegetables, most of them anyway. So for example, you saw that first thing I was cutting in there was a purple cabbage. Now, the reason for a purple, not green, and green is going to be just fine because that has a lot of good properties too, is because of the color. There's a particular set of antioxidants that create that color, and those particular antioxidants perform a particular set of biochemical processes in your body. Now, each color has its own set of and concentration of antioxidants. This is why it's not only important to eat a lot of plants, but to eat a lot of plants of different colors consistently. And the darker the better. Now, in this particular meal, you not only saw the purple cabbage there, but I also have that purple onion that you see down there, red radishes, red kale, red chard, and it also has dark green in each of those. And I also do Dino kale. Later on I'll be eating a carrot or two, so that's going to cover my orange. And what I'm missing is yellow. Oh yes, I also have some bok choy there. Now, that is the raw portion of my meal. In terms of the processed portion of this meal, you'll see that bottle there toward the right side next to the soap. That is Paul Newman's Italian dressing. I use that. Then I finish it off by putting in the rice. Oh yes, can't forget the cherry tomatoes. And those are red. Could have got some yellow ones there, but all I had was red this time. This meal not only has a lot of fiber in it, but is nutritionally dense and has a lot of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. This not only is important to the average person, but it's important to AFib boys like me. And here's what the final product looks like. And it tastes great too. This is one of my favorite snacks. I have it every day. Not only great protein, but has the essential fatty acids. And those omega-3s, major anti-inflammatory properties. Next comes muesli, my own brand of muesli. I make it myself. Rolled oats, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, sliced almonds, raisins. Along with the almond milk, I include turmeric, remember that? And cinnamon. Of course, you can't forget the fruits and all the nutritional properties that contains. For me, often it's oranges, bananas, and occasional apple. The last meal of the day for me on this day contained a lot of carbohydrates and a lot of protein. In fact, it contained all the essential amino acids. And it's a simple meal. Rice and beans. A little red onion salsa and some ketchup, along with some turmeric, gives it a nice bite. Okay, so that's the diet portion. That's just the first portion. Now let's talk about movement. If you're like me during these COVID times, you're not going anywhere unless you really have to. And fortunately, I don't have to go to a lot of places. Now the gyms are opening up, and I love going to the gym, but I'm not going to the gym. The risk-benefit calculation just doesn't work out for me. Now, I'm fortunate to have some weights at home, but not everybody does. And in fact, you don't need the weights. Weights are going to be nice to have, but if you don't have them, then you got to work without them. And so that means body weight work. Do squats, do push-ups. If you're fortunate enough to be able to hang on something, do some pull-ups, you do pull-ups. Find something heavy, hold it up to your chest, and do squats, like a goblet squat. Lean over on a bench, support your body with one hand, and lift something up to your chest with the other hand. When you're doing those push-ups, put your arms in close, or your hands in close. Put your hands out a little bit wide. Change it up. Put your feet on the couch and do like an incline push-up. Just because you don't have any weights at home doesn't give you license to sit on your ass just watching TV. Find something that you can work with and make it work. Because what are the options? You're getting older, you need that muscle, especially when you get to be my age. Remember, a quality diet and quality movement. The better you treat yourself, the less pressure you're putting on your body. The less pressure you're putting on your body, the less pressure you're putting on your heart. The less pressure you're putting on your heart, the less incidence of afib that you're going to have. Comment below and tell me what you're doing during these COVID times. And for those of you in California, what you're doing when it's too smoky to breathe out there. Hope you got something out of this video. Remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.